All right, good morning, guys. I am headed out. I'm going to be going to go give plasma. This hat I wear when it's windy out, and I also wear it to get a reaction. My baby is basically my career, right? So I got this from Save the Storks, and what we see with abortion, abortion is it is a failure of taking care of yourself. That's pretty much what it is. It's deceiving because it looks like, oh, let's give women a choice. So I just saw a comment. It was Kristen Hawkins. I had commented on her channel battling some people about abortion, because I do that. I have my channel that's proactive here, and then I have my work that I do with calling pregnancy centers and defending life online. I'm actually kind of hot in this. So, whew. So what I do is I fight for life. And what abortion is, in a nutshell, is it's basically women haven't had the care that they need. And I saw this pastor, nothing like a fake pastor, false pastor, saying he was debating Kristen Hawkins, and he was saying, actually, I think, well, let me back up. She says, there's this guy who's still in my head and I'm traumatized by him. He had a picture of an ultrasound of his baby girl, 20 weeks along, and he had it in his hand all crinkled up. And what happened was his girlfriend or wife chose to have an abortion. And he begged her and said, no, I don't want, you to have an abortion. I want to protect my baby, da da da. And then she went into the Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, and he was calling them every day, saying, I am the father. I have rights to that baby. So here he was just crying, and Kristen Hawkins was talking about how it still traumatized her that a father could not stand for his rights and he could not protect his baby daughter from being killed. So, the mother ended up regretting it, which is a very normal sign of trauma or post-traumatic stress. There's relief at first, much like a divorce. There's relief at first, and then there is regret. So, there was nothing he could do. He felt totally helpless, totally powerless. And the pastor was saying, well, I think that's the way it's supposed to be. I think that her choice is supposed to be honored. And Kristen Hawkins kind of just threw up her hands like, you've got to be kidding me. This is a pastor. This is a man who calls himself a Christian, right? When you're a Christian, there is no middle ground for life. So, I had commented on there, and somebody had said something like, well, no, I agree, because it is her choice and it should be honored, and she should not be forced to carry his child. And it brought me back to the day that I found out I was pregnant, and there was kind of those thoughts, you're the one who got her pregnant. It was your fault. You chose to use a condom that was not safe. You knew it wasn't safe and you used it anyways. You tricked her. You lied to her. She's not, it was kind of like, no, I'm not going to be, there was just this idea of she's too young and she's not going to be carrying the responsibility that you had around. So, I don't know where that came into play. It was just a feeling of that, because I really didn't know what an abortion was. I just knew I was in trouble and I was pregnant, and it wasn't okay to be pregnant. So, as I listened to this guy, I just couldn't believe what we're hearing. And what abortion is, like I said, is it's like a Band-Aid, right? Somebody told me when I said abortion isn't a Band-Aid, they're like, we need to put that into a meme. That is like so cool. Because what it is it's saying you basically, got yourself in trouble or someone got you in trouble, and you don't have to kind of, be in that place anymore. So we're going to help you. And the way we're going to help you is we're going to act like it never happened. That's how we're going to help you. Rather than real care would be, saying, hey, what exactly happened? The communication there, how did this happen exactly? He needs to take responsibility instead of getting him out of trouble. He needs to take responsibility for what he did. We need some help with this. We need to figure out what we're going to do for this, you know, grandchild or your child or whatever. So, and when this woman chose, we don't know the circumstances, right? So it's a lack of good care for women. It's an easy way out. Women feel like they're in a trap. They feel like they're powerless, they're helpless, they can't get out of it. It's not real good care for women. So we want to change that. And we know that Biden and others do not care about women because of what they're doing. They don't really care. They're just like, yep, she's not going to be pregnant. She's not going to carry a kid. The end of the story. And they don't even, it's unbelievable. They don't even look at follow-up. We don't look at follow-up as a society. Most of the time, if you think of like a science class, they're going to have a theory. It's going to be tested. It's going to be tested against facts. And we're not even doing that with abortion. It's absolutely crazy. So, you want to take really good care of yourself. And on those lines of thoughts, learn from other women. Learn well. I was watching some reels from Farrah Fawcett's life. I remember her growing up. I watched Charlie Angels and Wonder Woman. And I want to show you all my glasses for a minute. And then I will go back to what I'm talking about. So a friend sent me these. I love them. I walked down the road the other day with them. Didn't get too much of a reaction. I thought my reactions would be different. But anyways, I love Wonder Woman. Big fan of her. Linda Carter. Linda Carter and Farrah Fawcett, both beautiful women, both of them. And if you look at them, they didn't wear a whole lot of makeup. They didn't. Farrah Fawcett, I like her style. She was very minimalist. She liked a lot of bare skin on her. She was a tomboy. She was a minimalist with her clothing. She would rather sweat than have all the glamour. That's the type of person she was, and I really like that style. Linda Carter, she was the cover girl. She had the makeup a little bit, but it wasn't over the top. The thing about Farrah Fawcett is, she went back to a husband who literally beat her. She was known for this movie, The Burning House, about a woman in major domestic abuse. I have not watched that. I want to watch it. And then here she is going back to Ryan after he is literally beating her. I mean, I think she had black eyes and everything. So this is a woman who was absolutely gorgeous and could have any man in the world. Why did she not think more highly of herself? And we need to think about that. Like, why would she do that? Why would she not just be like, I don't need you. So I guess in her last will, she left $100,000 to her high school sweetie. She left him nothing. He claims with friends they were going to get married again, but it looks like she probably played him because she didn't leave anything. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but we are coming from a place in our society where women have been beaten from husbands. They have gone through being killed, by men. And then this movie actually, she made such an impact with her life at the end. She had cancer. She filmed everything to show other people that they don't have to be scared of the stereotype of the type of cancer she had. And then this movie changed laws so that women were protected. So in that sense, she was very much a hero. But we come from this generation where women had to put up with that, right? And now we go to the extreme where women are aborting their children and saying, I don't have to do anything. My choice, my body, my choice, right? So we still don't have it right as women. We still don't have, I guess those are both like secular views, I would say. You know, we know Farrah Fawcett, as far as I know, she did not have a walk with Christ. So that's going to make a big difference. She didn't have the strength she needed to deal with that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, the real key for women is you have to have Christ. You have to have a biblical view of life. You know, I put on my Wonder Woman glasses and I go out in the world. And Ryan Holiday just talked about this 2 weeks ago. He talked about don't be like other people. Other people suck. Don't be like them, he was saying. He was saying, you know, somebody had dropped off like 2 dead goats and dogs by his house and how it irritated him to see such a thing. But he went out and he did something about it. You know, he didn't keep driving by. It looked like he had removed the animals. So when we talk about like people have walls around them, sometimes there's walls, but sometimes there's also self-containment, as he talked about, where you are focused on you and what you're going to do and how you're going to handle things, and you're not letting everything around you get to you. Because if you did that, you would have a hard time functioning in life. You need to pull back, as he said. I mean, I already do this. You need to be indifferent sometimes to people. So as I go out into the world, Ryan talks about how, you know, we need to be good to people still, to a point. And I had left, you know, a comment that Christ actually died for people. And it's not that he didn't have boundaries, and Ryan talks about this too. We need a lot of boundaries. We need that self-containment. But Christ did have the boundaries. He did have the truth. But he also died for people. And there is that balance of, you know, loving people, but knowing human nature and knowing how rotten people are capable of being. You kind of see them as this is just the role they're playing right now. In a sense, because of whatever hurt or shame they have had in their life, they are acting this way. So on a human level, you know, everyone has worth before God. Everyone has dignity, but there are certain standards you would say, I'm not going to put up with that. And for Farrah Fawcett to go back into relationship with Ryan, I'm not sure what the benefit was for her. She was very loving and kind, is what I hear, but I'm not sure what the benefit was, like, as far as had he really changed, or was it just he wanted her money? Was he, you know, what was the situation? And I don't know all the intricacies of their relationship. I mean, the doctor says she was going through quite a bit and he stayed with her through it all, you know, but, you know, there was accountability too. I think the guards were there and stuff. So we don't know if he really changed his true, you know, his true colors or not. So she really took a risk, and, you know, sometimes you have to look at the pros and cons of that, how much it's worth it, how much it's not. But you don't want to be, you know, you need to know your worth is what I'm trying to say. As a woman, you need to know you're not going to put up with stuff. You're not going to, what's the word? Not only not put up with stuff, but you need to be confident. Not a lack of humility, but confidence. And I personally feel like Farrah should have been more confident. She probably got, you know, he basically destroyed her in so many ways that her confidence was probably pulled down in a million ways. So that's kind of hard to do when you have a guy bashing you, you know, in your life. So something to think about as women. And again, I think we need to stay close to Christ, in the Word, in prayer, know our worth before Him, and then that will lift us up. And as our value is lifted up, we value ourselves, we know our own worth, and we do not let others, you know, just take advantage of us. So that's what I got for now, ladies. Thanks for joining me.